So hello. We are doing Plumbella's build challenge today. So I'm going to go ahead here and click 3 times and let's see what we got. We have an A-frame house and the only color we're supposed to use is yellow. 2 floors, 8 rooms, and that's the only amount of money we have. We've got to use the tallest wall height. So that's kind of what we're working with today. If you're new here, my name's Keely, and if you're not, welcome back. So we're going to be doing this Plumbella build challenge, as I mentioned before. So I kind of was thinking if I had to use yellow, I was thinking, okay, what if I did like some sort of like tropical house? So that's why we're in Sulani. I thought it would be a really cute, like if we could use the painted like wood boards as the outside. I was like, how am I going to make yellow work for everything? So here I am struggling at the beginning because I didn't realize that the second floor wasn't the right wall height, and that's why the roofing didn't match up. So let's see how long it takes me to figure that out. Okay, looks like I figured it out at this point. Um, maybe. All right, so here we go. So I was looking at what was available for yellow, and I wanted to use this here from Island Living. For some reason, it categorized the roofing as yellow, but then it didn't say that the matching trim was yellow. So we just went with that because it's the same trim. It just like terrain paint. I didn't realize until this video was over and I did another challenge, which will be uploaded soon, another version of this, that none of the terrain paint is like categorized or grouped by colors. So, but anyways, so these are the only yellow windows I had to work with. Not a lot, let's just say that. There's a couple more, but I ended up going with these modern ones. And these are the yellow details I had to work with. I wanted to be nice and green and lush with the yellowish tinge that I had, the available options. So I decided to move the house kind of back a little bit, and I thought, oh, it'd be perfect. I could do some of these roofing details to kind of spice it up a little bit. So, and then I found out later that actually the yellow and red swatch that, comes up if you search yellow in The Sims 4 has a matching fence. So we ended up using that too. But yeah, here we go, adding some more yellow details. Just kind of trying to make it really tropical, really fun. Um, I had a lot of fun building this. I was a little worried because I was like, oh, yellow, that's rough. And it kind of was rough. Like once we go inside, the outside definitely worked out better than the inside. Like, these are the only flooring options I had. Like, that's it for yellow. There's the matching fence I was talking about. So I moved those around and I thought about using some posts and stuff, but I didn't really like how those looked, so I decided against it. But yeah, I did a matching deck in the back because I was happy with how that turned out. And honestly, it just looks beautiful. Like this house on this lot, I feel like this could be a nice vacation home for your Sims. And for some reason, you could probably notice it there. The side of the first floor was the same as the yellow paneling outside. I don't know why. Like I made the rooms separate. Like on the second floor, you don't see the yellow paneling, which is the same detail as the roofing. But for some reason, I couldn't change it. So if you know how to change that, let me know in the comments because if I build another A-frame house, I don't want the inside to have to be the same as the outside. So maybe that's just something that I missed. I don't know. But yeah, for some reason I couldn't get the first floor like side walls where the uh, roofing details were to not be the yellow paneling. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, let me know down below if you know how to fix that. So here we are at the second floor. I put in a bedroom, a bathroom, and a master, and then I had to put 4 rooms downstairs. I wanted to have like those big archways from Island Living, which is why I had that wall up, but that didn't work because they weren't yellow. So we didn't get to do that. Um, so my next thought was, what if I did like a study or an office? And I found that some of these other doors had like some other pops of color in them. So I thought, oh, perfect. I'll use some of the movie hangout doors since they have like that tropical yellow, blue, like, try to make it less completely yellow. So I ended up doing that later to try to pull in some details that the game says is yellow, but maybe isn't as yellow as it possibly could be because there's just so much yellow in this house right now. So I used all the yellow different stuff from Cottage Living and from Growing Together for the kitchen. And yeah, I couldn't use, unfortunately, any of the Island Living stuff, which sucked because none of the Island Living counters are yellow. So I was pretty limited on that. I put in a big island somewhere to sit since it's a pretty nice vacation home. Um, put some chairs around that. I ended up going with all these flooring was awful, to be honest, so I just used the same one that I used outside. It was the one that I hated the least. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do when all you have is yellow to choose from. So I tried to go through and see what other living items were yellow to add some more decor elements to make it feel more tropical like. And then I kept those kind of in mind for the master bedroom upstairs later. Excuse of me if I sound a little sniffly, getting over some type of sickness. What I don't know, but let me tell you, was not good. Definitely don't want that. Wasn't COVID. Took a COVID test. Wasn't that, but don't know what it was. Yeah. So here I was trying to figure out what to do with the kitchen since, as you saw, I couldn't change. Here I am trying to still figure that out. I couldn't change the back wall there. So I thought about just doing the whole thing, and then I ended up deciding on that brick, which we have now went away from. But here's the bathroom. I thought about using this mirror for a while, but then I was like, I don't know, that's just a lot of mirror. I would have loved to have done like a black mirror, but unless I did that big one, I didn't have any other ones because they didn't fit with the yellow themes. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so I put in a couple things in there. I ended up just doing that tiling and a nice little yellow rug, and I just ended up going with that flooring. And the game said that that rug was yellow, so we ran with it because there's so much yellow in this house. We needed a little bit of blue and yellow. Okay, so here's one of the other guest bedrooms on the bottom floor. So I ended up using this bed from high school years because I thought it was super tropical, super fun with all like the sun and the flowers and stuff on there. So I went with that. Put some more flowers in here and just try to see what other yellow items I could use. Um, I liked that the sun painting I had in there. I thought that was super pretty. I want to use that sunflower one later. You'll see it again. It'll come back. So here we go with some curtains from Growing Together, and I threw it. I wanted to use that, but that was just too much yellow. Like, if I could have put it on the side wall where I ended up doing that lighter yellow color, which you'll see in a second that I used throughout most of the house, like that color, then I would have put that in, but it was just too much. So I ended up using some stuff from Tiny Living that brought in the blue that was also in the bed and the matching little stool from high school years. So I was pretty happy with how that turned out. Put in a couple of those really nice, fun, vibrant pots out on the front. And then I had a couple little other details I wanted to throw out there before I forgot. So yeah, we're kind of just finishing up that room. So here's one of the living rooms. No TVs are yellow, so I wanted to find somewhere else to use that tiny living TV that you saw in the guest room because otherwise there'd be no TV in the house and then everybody's just going to try to go into the guest room to watch TV, which would be pretty annoying. So here's the main kind of like sitting area. Um, I tried using some fun little like tropical couches and chairs and stuff. They don't all exactly match, but that's okay. I threw in a fireplace because I wanted something to be on the wall since I couldn't have like a TV unless I used that TV stand. So threw in the fireplace and did this like very subtle yellow color since there was just so much yellow. Um, Threw in that sunflower painting that I said we'd get back to and that very beautiful like kind of tribal print painting like cloth thing. So I used one of these super fun tables in the dining space. And then this is kind of where I realized that I wanted some extra space, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do because I had this room. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool if I could section this off because of how I laid out the room. It just didn't really work. So, and I also needed another room to fit with the restrictions. So I thought, okay, what if I drop it down a notch? That'll be perfect. I can just make that a room, which was great. But then because I made it this weird shape, it just didn't work. So I got rid of that room. And then I tried to section it off again. And I was a lot happier with how that turned out. And then I just had to fix it because I needed the door to be on the same level. I didn't feel like having too many step ups and step downs. So I brought that down and then I just completed that yellow tiling all the way through on the like the sunken in kitchen and dining room space. And then I just put in some stairs and then I had a little bit extra space to work with and that counted as one of my rooms. So then I ended up putting a little like sitting and another like living room space with a TV and some other like skill items like that piano and stuff like that. So I even put in like a little desk area that kind of matched from Tiny Living and just kind of sectioned that off, had some books and all that kind of jazz, some more couches and stuff like that. So I ended up using that light yellow one. I mean, everything's yellow, but still. Put in those curtains and just, you know, something casual, nice little painting. And I didn't put any, like, fences or stuff because it was just kind of a small bump out. I didn't want to or, like, sunken in area. I didn't wanna make it super cut off. So here I'm adding some more plants to the outside before we head upstairs, just some curtains and stuff, and putting out some other skill items outside, like our telescope and the flower arranging table. Can't forget our trash cans. Almost forgot the mailbox, and then put out some other like special like beach themed items. I wanted to do a splash pad area since this lot wasn't actually connected to a like beach lot. Like, yes, you can leave the lot and walk to the beach. It's right on the beach, but like there was no water on the lot. So I wanted to do that. Unfortunately, none of the splash pad things matched. So I wanted to find something, one of these like chalk prints from City Living that I thought would work good. I ended up doing that one. So it wasn't just completely yellow. I liked the mosaic too. I thought that was very tropical and very fun. So I wanted to use a lot of the beds from Island Living and some of that fun stuff. So here are some of that. Um, Again with the yellow. So I ended up choosing these colors. That one's the tiles, the bathroom. Now we're back to the master. Yeah, trying to work with some of the brown and yellow swatches from Get Famous too, since that kind of matches that bed a little bit. Putting in some nice little candles and stuff. I wanted a bookshelf in there. I put in that yellow carpet, and then luckily I was able to find a rug that the game still said was yellow, so that was perfect. I put in a fireplace too, I think. I think I kept that in there. Yeah, just, you know, to kind of take up some of the space. I didn't really have a lot of things to choose from for yellow, so that kind of was a disadvantage. So I threw in some kids' activity tables and things in here. I didn't realize till later that that's actually where the door was supposed to be, so I had to move some things around. Um, but yeah, so I threw in 2 beds in there so then enough Sims could live in the house and another desk Sims could work on their, like, homework on and stuff like that. Um, threw in this rug, it said that was yellow, so I was like, "Sweet, throw it in there. It'll bring some different life to the kids' room." And here's the bathroom. So I went with like a brown and yellow that kind of matched with that green. I just wanted something that was a different color, to be honest. So we went with, which rug did I choose? Honestly, I don't remember. I think I just kept that brown one. That's fine. The brownish yellow. All right, so as we get closer to the end of the video, I had fun with this one. I thought this was fun. I've never really built a lot of A-frame houses before, so yeah, it was a blast. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. If so, let me know down in the comments. This house will be available as per usual on the gallery. All you have to do is search up KillyCat4 on the gallery. You can even search it by using hashtag KillyCat4 on the gallery to find this build and more builds. And as we're near the end of the video, I'm just going to finish up with some landscaping. The only things that, said it was that was yellow. So I just threw in some basic stuff. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.